Perfect. Awesome. Thank you for that introduction, Professor Little. When I was here about 2 years ago, Professor Little helped us a lot with our business models and our business ideas. I was actually in this class probably 2.5 to 3 years ago. I used to sit right by that window, and I was either sleeping or I was fascinated by the speaker, so either or. And I had this idea that I wouldn't share with anybody. It was my treasure, it was my gold, and I knew it was going to make me a billionaire someday. And that idea was an empanada shop. Anyone been to Argentina by chance? I served my mission there, or South America. Anyone, by the raise of hand, been to South American countries? Well, empanadas are, it's kind of like a turnover with meat in it, and it's just delicious. I had it probably every day on my mission. I thought it was the greatest thing. Couldn't believe it was in the United States. It is here, but there just wasn't a fast food chain for it. And so I thought that it was the next McDonald's. And so I would always be hyped up in this class. And actually, I got most of my inspiration from this class to become an entrepreneur. Well, I eventually had the guts to go share it with some mentors, my empanada shop, and how I was going to rule the world. And spoke with some industry experts within the restaurant arena, and kind of realized that I didn't really want to be in the restaurant industry, and kind of wanted to look elsewhere. But what I kind of want to focus on is that it really did start here. It started in college, just that spirit of entrepreneurship. And the route hasn't been easy. It's definitely difficult. It's exciting. But there's a lot of things to work out, a lot of convincing to do, especially with a spouse or significant other. But it's been a good road so far. And so I just wanted to start out by saying that BYU's been great. I love being here. It really inspired me to actually start a company. Started it right out of here out of BYU. And so as you can see, we took it in a completely different direction. We created a company called ForeUp, which is a golf management software for courses. Now, most of you probably won't understand exactly what the product does unless you've worked at a golf course. It's more of a business-to-business play, but I'll kind of open it up and explain to you the process and how we'll be revolutionizing the industry. But like I said, we started this company out of BYU. Right now, currently, as Professor Little mentioned, we're in 32 states. We're in Canada, France, and Australia. And so exciting times for us, getting to international countries. Within, let's see here, 4.5 months since May, we've been able to double the size of our company as far as sales go, and we're on track to either double or triple by the end of this winter time. And so we're pretty excited about that. We're literally in the middle of the battle right now, and life is stressful, it's exciting, and it's good. And we'll kind of go more into depth on that a little bit later. But this is where it all started. Like I said, in our 600-foot, does anyone live in Wymount here by chance? Or okay, so you guys know how those apartments are. So that's where we actually started the company out of. We had this little room. I don't know how big that room is, but we had this one little desk. Joel and I actually met at this activity. We're in our apartment, and I just remember being here at BYU, coming up with this golf idea. It was a golf social network. I came up with the idea out of John Richards' Creating New Ventures class, and I was sharing it with a bunch of friends. Everyone was excited. Well, I don't know if they were just excited to make me happy or if they really were excited for me. But I remember sharing this idea with Joel, and Joel really liked it. And I kind of got to know Joel a little bit better, and he later became my business partner. But we weren't sure that we wanted to be in the actual golf industry. I mean, I love golf. It's my passion. But when it comes down to business, it's what makes money. It's the problem that you're solving, not really your passion. And of course, it's good to go after your passions and everything else, but that wasn't the primary reason. And so Joel and I got together. We said, all right, this golf social network, this Facebook of golf is an awesome idea, but we're going to go ahead and check out other ideas. And so what we did was we planned to write down every night in a Google Doc one idea a day to come up with. So one idea a day, we'd share it with each other, and we'd share ideas. We'd say, oh, that's pretty stupid, or oh, that's pretty cool, and we can do that. And so after a month of it, we looked at all the ideas, and the golf idea really trumped everything. And so we decided, all right, well, let's go ahead and get on the path, and maybe we can actually create a company. Now, we both were in school, we had homework, we had things to do, and so it wasn't our main focus. And so after a few months of really thinking about it, we really got together and said, hey, why don't we just try this out? There's a business plan competition coming up. This should be pretty exciting. our idea is the best idea that could possibly be out there, and I think we can win that $50,000. Is anyone doing the business plan competition this year, or anyone planning on doing it? Okay. So business plan competition's great. We literally spent hours, days, nights working on that. I think we had like 4 nights where we'd stay up till 4 o'clock making sure it was primo. We probably wrote, I don't know, 43 pages making sure it was perfect, graphics were perfect. We were so excited about this. I mean, I remember being up till 4 o'clock, we'd be pounding down our Mountain Dews or our drinks, and our wives would be sleeping on the couches or on the floors really mad at us, but we had to get this done because we were going to win that $50,000. And so we put together this business plan, 43 pages. I swear it was like a thesis, and I'm still waiting for my honorary PhD in business plan writing. It hasn't come yet from BYU, but still waiting on that. So competition, I remember submitting it, and then it came the day where they chose the 7 finalists, and we were sitting there, and we were all nervous because we had spent all this time on this competition, and the first company was called, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth were called, and it wasn't us, but we still had that hope for the 7th one. 7th one was called, and it wasn't us. And I just remember looking at Joel, hearts dropped, and we're like, there's no way that this is possible. Did they even read our business plan? I still kind of question that because it was 43 pages long. But it was really devastating for us because we knew we had a great idea. We knew it could work. But I guess other people didn't believe that. And so, there were other great ideas out there that we saw. I mean, you had Scan, Collude, and all these other companies that, some of them are still up, some are not. But unfortunately, we weren't in it. Then came the International Business Plan Competition. So we said, we already have this business plan together. We're going to tweak it a little bit because we can take care of courses in international countries. And so we submitted it, spent hours on this one as well. And then once we got into that competition, we realized that we were called and we passed the first round. So we were able to actually present to these mentors to get to the second round or to the third round. And so we were so excited. We prepared everything. We put together the presentation. We presented. Thought it went well. We thought it went well, but unfortunately it didn't. I think we lost to a fish hatchery company or something like that, which is a pretty devastating blow to us once again. And so then again, we didn't win the $5,000 or the $10,000 that was committed to this business plan competition. So we were a little bit down, but if you know, Joel and I were really persistent, and a lot of times we think our ideas are good and other people don't, but we just keep going with it. And so we kept on going, and then we got into the business model competition. It was a new competition that came out. Then again, we spent hours, nights working on that competition. I remember sitting down doing like this voice recording, having to do it over and over and over again because I was stumbling over my words. Finally got it down, submitted it, and yeah, nothing ever happened with that either. I mean, we didn't even make it to the second round. And so we were through with competitions, and we were just devastated about it, but we knew that we could grow this company, and we're going to do it without money or these competitions or this recognition. And so we said, all right, we're going to do one more competition, which was the Crescendo competition. I don't know if they do that here anymore, but it was an SEO building competition where you would use their platform to build a website. And so we used their platform to build a website. Good thing, it was for non-technical people. Both of us aren't technical. And so we were able to build this website, create SEO, and we were able to sell tea times. And so we spent hours and hours on this, and I swear this was our last competition. If nothing happened here, we were done with competitions forever. And so what happened was that we worked on it, we had a little traction through the website, and finally the day came that they presented the awards to the winners. And of course, there was 5 winners. The 5th person wasn't us, 4th person wasn't us, 3rd person wasn't us, and finally, music to our ears, we took 2nd place in a competition, which meant $5,000. And so, of course, we wanted 1st place, but we were happy with $5,000. It meant something to us. It meant that somebody believed in what we were doing. And so, as you can see, that's Professor Little right there on the left side. So that was an exciting day. I don't know if you remember that, but we won $5,000. We were on cloud 9. I think we ate at Carrabba's that night. We bought iPads, and we were excited. We were going to start the, which wasn't a good idea, but so we had all this confidence to start this business. And so we started to enter more competitions, and we actually started winning. We won more and more competitions, and we got really good at winning outside competitions. I don't know, but because we didn't have anything to show, we just were pitching ideas and selling air, but we were actually winning these competitions. So it was exciting. And so Joel and I had to sit down, and we had to discuss, is this the road we want to take? Because I was graduating that year. Joel still had a few years to go, but to be an entrepreneur, most of the time it requires all your time. And so we really had to make the decision: do we want to be in this route? Do we really want to suffer like we've heard other people have suffered? Is this actually going to work out? And so we discussed it and said, hey, you know what? Everyone always tells us that you should go work for corporate, you should get business experience, and then go out and start a company. That's the way to do it. But then we thought, well, we're young and pretty stupid. Why don't we just go out, start a company? If we crash and burn, we crash and burn early, and we have time to make it up. So that's kind of been our thought the whole time, that, yeah, we are young, but as long as we do things correctly, if we have mentors with us and that experience backing us, then we'll be fine. And if we crash and burn, then we have time to make it up. It's not like we're going to lose our retirement or savings over failing at an early age. And so we said, all right, let's go ahead and do this. So I remember sitting in John Richards' class. I don't know if you're familiar with him, and creating new ventures. And he mentioned a program called Boom Startup. And it really interested and fascinated me because we thought we knew how to build a business, but we had really no idea. And so we went to a program. Well, I heard about this program, Boom Startup. Has anyone heard of this program or been in it? Okay, awesome. So for those of you who don't know what the Boom Startup program is, what it is it's a program where you apply to. They have a bunch of mentors that are mentors/investors that have had successful startups in the past. And so they select a certain amount of teams. I believe that year it was 10 teams that they'll take in, they'll mentor, they give office space to. Then they would give each team 15 grand as little seed money to get the company started. And so this idea fascinated me, and this was it. This is what I knew we needed to do. And so I talked to Joel about it. He got excited about it. And so what we did is we applied, and we applied with our golf idea. I didn't think it was probably, now I look back, it wasn't the best idea, but we were actually accepted into the Boom Startup program by John Richards and a few other mentors. I think later on they just mentioned that they really liked the team and were able to pivot various times. But as we were going throughout the program, one thing that they really made us focus on was the shark bite pain. Okay, what shark bite pain are you going to solve? And then they made us focus on customer validation. It was all about customer validation, the new business model generation, taking business plans, throwing them out, having the new business model generation where you go out and validate until you come up with the correct product. And so that's what we did the whole summer. And then at the end of this program, you have a day called Demo Day where you go present to a bunch of investors, and you think they're going to give you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so that's the whole goal, that after the summer program, you're able to get investment for your company. And so we started off, and we really worked with our mentors, and they said, you have to find that shark bite pain. And so what we did, we looked at the golf industry, and what we found was that 50% of all tee times were going unused. So that equated to about 475 million tee times annually in the United States alone, which was about $20 billion going away in perishable inventory. Now, we looked at this, and we said, this is a shark bite pain. This is actually a megalodon bite pain. I don't know if you guys know what a megalodon is. It's like the prehistoric shark. But it was a huge pain to solve. What we noticed was that within the golf industry, in 2011, 19 golf courses opened and 154 closed. In 2012, 13 opened and 158 closed. And so we were wondering, what is that problem? Is it the $20 billion? What's going on? And so what we found is that the number one problem is that tee times are perishable inventory. So you have 100 tee times during the day. If a tee time goes past and no one's actually golfing. Anyone golfers here? So I'm not speaking a foreign language. Okay, great. And so if a tee time's passed and there's no one in it, then it's worth $0. And so there's a lot of perishable inventory going around. So we said, why don't we do what Priceline did? Let's go find our own William Shatner, and let's create the Priceline of golf and sell these tee times at a high discount. And let's just get it out there. Let's do this. I think we can solve the issue. But we ran into a huge issue, which is that there's no global tee time network. And what I mean by that is that companies like Priceline, Travelocity, Expedia exist because a company called Sabre, that's a central database that feeds all of the open airline seats and rooms at hotels to companies like Priceline and Expedia. What we realized is that within the golf industry, the price line of golf did not exist. Well, not the price line, but the Saver Golf did not exist. So we said, all right, well, we can't really make the price line unless we have that Saver model, that central database. So why don't we become the global tee time network, build that Saver system, and we'll be the central database so we can go ahead and create that price line of golf. And we'll make money in both spots, in both models that we create. But we ran into another problem. So that idea was great, but the huge problem was that tee time software is outdated. And what I mean by that is that the reservation systems that golf courses use is very much outdated legacy systems and don't function correctly. And so it was set, we went out there, we tried to hook in with our APIs into these T-sheet software companies, and it was just a pain. It just was not working. And so we came up with first off, we went through the industry and found that, and did a lot of research, found that 30% of golf courses were still using paper and pencil to track these reservations. The software that was actually out there was decade-old, non-SaaS, and then less than 7% of tee times were being booked online. Now, just by a raise of hands, when was the last time you guys called to make a reservation for a flight? Yeah, no one. Okay. So this means that 93% of all tee times that are booked at golf courses are done over the phone. So that's a huge problem. We know that with the technology available in this day and age, that number is going to increase big time as far as reservations going towards some type of online portal. So we decided, all right, we're going to have to start from ground zero. We're going to have to build the backbone of the golf industry, and we're going to have to do what Salesforce did within the CRM industry. Anyone know the story of Salesforce by chance, by a raise of hand, and how they entered the market? Okay, so just a quick background with Salesforce. What they did was, there was a huge company called Siebel CRM Systems, I believe. And what they did was they would charge literally millions of dollars to fly out a representative companies, and they would install these huge servers, and then they would take care of these companies, and they would build in custom products that they needed within their CRM system. And that's how all the CRM systems did that. Well, what Salesforce did is they said, why don't we just build this on the cloud? What we realized is that most of these companies, they don't even use 80% of these features that these CRM companies are offering. So why don't we just get rid of the excess features that companies don't use and build a fully cloud-based system, something simple, and charge them 1/100th of what they're actually spending right now. And so because of that model, because of what they did, they put it on the cloud and they disrupted the industry within a matter of years. They took out all the CRM companies, and they quickly became the #1 CRM company in the industry. So we were inspired by that story, and we said, why don't we do that? All these softwares out here are client server-based softwares. Why don't we do what Salesforce did, but in the golf industry? And so what we did is we went out and we looked at the competition, of course, looked at our business model, said, hey, who's within this space? What are they doing? Is there any cloud-based softwares out there? What we realized is that the average age of all the softwares out there was about 8 years old, and they look like this. This is the #1 tee time software in the market still today, because they've been around for 15, 16, 17 years. It looks like an Excel spreadsheet. And this was actually taking off their website, so I didn't go in there and spruce it up for you guys. This is actually what they demonstrate on their website if you want to use their software. And so we thought that this was ridiculous, and so did most of the people that we spoke with, because we were speaking with golf courses on a daily basis on what they liked, what they didn't like. Here were some of the comments that we got. One was, if I could, I would throw this thing out the window right now. The second one was, I'd rather use paper and pencil than try to figure this thing out. And another one was, it's probably easier to build a nuclear missile than use this piece of junk. And so, and we still get those comments. It's ridiculous. And so we saw this huge pain, and this is where it was stemming from. So if we really wanted to change the industry, and if we wanted to take care of that shark bite pain, we had to start from ground zero and build up to it because of the lack of technology within the industry. And so we said, all right, let's get together. This is our new model. Together with 16 golf courses. Well, that's what it ended up being. And so we got together with 16 golf courses. We sat them down, really probably annoyed them, but we just asked them, what do you guys like about the system? What do you not like about the system? What do you wish your system had? And so after countless hours of validating with our customers and exactly what they wanted, we found exactly what they wanted, and that's what we built into our beta version of our software. We started off with just the T-sheet. What we really focused on was making it really easy to use. And we got rid of all the excess features that they didn't use, and we just kept the main core functionality that they needed, and we built it in a simpler way. And then we started getting comments like this. Some golf courses said, hey, I didn't even know software like this existed. That looks amazing. Is it ready now? One of my guys said a monkey could use this system. I actually got that comment the other day from a course in Kauai, but it was a pretty funny comment. And so we get these comments all the time, and you know, so many golf courses are so surprised because they've never seen this type of software. They didn't know that you could only click 2 times to make a reservation. They thought it was always like a 10 to 15 step process. And so once you introduce this type of software, you know, to the golf industry, they just started getting excited about it, and then we started getting a lot of good press, and we started growing from there. And our the whole time that we've built this software, it's always been with our customers. We don't really just come up with our own ideas and just build it in. It's all with our customers. They tell us the problem, we come up with a solution, we present it to them, and then they tell us, I like it, I love it, I don't like it, and then we push it out to all of the systems. And so our main advantage, the way we were and the way we are disrupting the industry right now, that we don't have any setup fees. So literally right now, if you call one of these other competitors to get a software, what you actually have to do is fly a representative out to your golf course. You have to stay with them. You have to pay them $1,000 a night, train you for 7 days, and then it'll probably take you 4 or 5 months to get used to the software. So it's ridiculous. And so for us, we don't have any setup fees. We don't have to fly a representative out. It's easy enough to use where we can just talk to them over the phone and train them and get them set up. Another big plus is there's no on-site servers. And so now they don't have to have on-site servers. They don't have to have IT support at the golf course. They don't have to download any updates. I mean, right now, if there's a bug in their system with our competition, they have to like send them out a CD. They have to download it. So it's like what, a 1 to 2 week process. It's ridiculous as far as updates or bug fixes go. And then they have nightly, and we don't have any nightly backups. And so right now, of course, with the competition, what they have to do is they have to back up their system every night. They have to take their little memory stick, stick it in their car, make sure it doesn't get broken, and that it's safe, and then bring it back to the golf course the next day. And so, of course, being fully cloud-based, we don't have to deal with, they don't have to deal with any of that. We have our servers, and we take care of all the golf courses off one central server. And so it's just a different way to look at things. Now, time to implement, we've been able to get time to implementation down from 7 to 10 days, which it normally takes for them to do, to 1 to 2 days. We can literally have golf courses set up within 1 to 2 days, and the expressions on their faces, and when they actually hear that, it's amazing. They literally call us liars until we have to prove them wrong. And then our new features and updates on a monthly basis, if we have a bug, we just shoot it out within, we fix it, and we can have it fixed within a few minutes. We don't have to send CDs out or anything else like that. So as you guys can see, this can be possible in any industry. It's just technology is so amazing these days that the world is at your feet. You can do literally anything with technology. And literally, if you look out in the industries, there's so much archaic software, so many archaic softwares out there and things that are done the wrong way that you can really make a big difference if you just think about it the correct way and execute. Okay, so that's our 3-part solution, just to overview so you guys have a good, clear understanding. That's where we had to start off by becoming that tee-time software, gathering that data, which will make us the Sabre of golf, where we can be that central database, which then we can feed all the unused tee times to a sister company like Priceline or one that we create. That way, we can go ahead and get rid of those perishable tee times and hopefully decrease that $20 billion loss that golf courses take every year, or the golf industry as a whole. Now, so that's the story of ForeUp. That's kind of where we're at. Hopefully you have a good understanding of how our software works, and that's just a brief overview. There's many things that we can go over. What I wanted to express to you today is that anyone can do it. I'm not any smarter than you guys. Joel's not any smarter than you guys. You guys can be exactly where we are 12 months from now if you execute correctly. What we found, the pains that we've gone through, just looking back, I just sat down last night just trying to think about what we've learned, and if I were to do it over again, what are the 3 most important things? And it really narrows down to, the first thing is team. you have to have a team. I mean, maybe you're Superman or whatever, and you can do it by yourself, but most instances that's not the case. You have to have a team, and you have to have people that work together correctly. If you don't have a team, there's no business whatsoever. There's no point in even having an idea if you don't have that team. So our main motto is get the right people on the bus. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that from good to great. The first important thing is communication. Do you communicate well with your business partner? The reason I ask you that is because you're with your business partner probably, I mean, I've been with my business partner. I spend more time with him than I do with my wife. And so literally, I mean, I spend all day with him. We're working on things. And if anyone's ever served a mission, it's like 2 years being with the same companion instead of 2 transfers or something like that. It's just, it's a long time. So you need to be able to communicate well. You need to be able to get along, but you need to have that same vision. Work ethic. I can't remember the last time that Joel or I have gone to bed before 12 o'clock, and we're married. So of course, we should be going to bed a little bit earlier than that. But we're usually up late, texting back and forth, seeing if features are finished, and it's constant communication throughout the day. We don't have any peaceful days. We just hope and pray that our phone doesn't go off for some support reason or whatnot on Saturday or Sunday, which of course, if it does, then we have to take it. We're very much, well involved with our startup. We know everything that goes on, and so, every call comes to us if needs be, and we'll take care of that. And so work ethic is huge. If someone's going to put homework or put school or things before a startup, I don't know if it's the right, business partner. Or you have to have, your plans, your goals, and everything aligned with that. Third is sales skills. I don't know if a lot of people ever really mention this, but really, as an entrepreneur, you're selling your idea the whole time. So I'm not talking about like door-to-door sales or anything else like that. I'm just talking about you have to be able to communicate well. You have to have sales skills. Because I tell you what, for the first year of our business, we were selling air. Literally air. We would talk to golf courses, and we'd say, sign this contract now, and it will be out to you in 2 weeks. And then we'd get with our technical founder, and we'd beg him to get it done, and he would stay up late at night, and we would get that job done. But like I said, I mean, sales skills is more vital than anything else, because be it selling to golf courses, selling your idea, getting investment, you have to know how to sell your product. You have to know what it is, and you have to have that type of communication skill. The fourth is sacrifice. I mean, our co-founder, our technical co-founder, we actually found him at the Utah Startup Marketplace. It was a crazy story, not too crazy, but before we got into the Boom Startup program, we were told that we had to find a technical person to be on our team, because it was a tech company, and so we had to have someone to build that technology. And so we went to the Utah Startup Marketplace, and we were searching all around, looking for people that might be technical, and looking, for people that knew how to develop in PHP or whatnot, and didn't find anybody. And so we were going through this Utah Startup Marketplace for like an hour looking for people, and then we decided to leave. And so as we were leaving, I looked to my right, and I saw this kid that my wife had actually known from the Jerusalem Center way back when, and I only met him once, but he kind of looked like he could be a technical guy. And so I don't mean anything. I wish I was technical, to be honest. But and so I stopped. We stopped right as we were going to head out that doorway, and I said, hey, we need to go back, and we need to talk to that guy really quick. And so we went out, we talked to him, found out that he was not a technical guy, but the guy to the left of him, his buddy, was a technical person. So we grabbed his number. We actually took him to the top of the Wilk, sat him down, idea, was able to sell him. He has 2 kids. He had a third one on the way, and I don't know how we did it, but we sold him on taking no pay for like 9 months. And so it was a big risk. Of course, we offered equity. We treated him well and everything else, but he became that team member, and he's been an all-star ever since. But yeah, we all did not take a paycheck for 9 months, nothing. And so that was, it was nerve-wracking. I mean, even through the Boom Startup program, when we had that 15 grand, we saved it. And it was Joel's idea. I don't know if I had that idea. It was Joel's idea. But we saved it because we knew that after the program, it was going to take some time to raise that investment. So we couldn't die between that time or be taken advantage of because we had nothing. And so we had to save that money. We didn't take a paycheck through that whole program, save that money. And we saw all these other companies buying computers and everything else, and realized, all right, whatever, we just got to save this, and this is probably the smartest thing to do. Well, we came to find out that we really did need that. Our technical founder needed that money, and so after the program, we had just enough money to last us until we raised that round of funding, where we were able to pay ourselves still dirt cheap. Probably make more than, we probably make more if we worked at McDonald's or whatnot, but we were able to exist and survive. And so that was, a crucial decision that we had made. So like I said, just a brief overview, make sure you have the right team members, make sure that you get along with them, make sure that they're hardworking, you guys have that, that same mindset. Second was just mentors in general. I had a lot of good faculty members in here. John Richards, Dr. Little, we had Peterson that we would meet with on a consistent basis. It was huge, just the feedback that they would give us. And it wasn't a lot, but it was just pointing us in the right direction, giving us feedback on our business plans. It was just giving us that direction that we needed. We went through the Rollins, like I said, we sat down with Scott Peterson, pitched him our idea, and I don't think he thought it was the best idea ever. This is when it was the Golf Social Network, and so we received a lot of feedback from him. Boom Startup was a great program as far as mentorship went. I remember our lead mentor coming into us one day, and he was bright red, and he said, I just sent off a text to you guys, and then use your technology to group this group of golfers together, and your technology sucks. And he literally just spit it in our face, and he said, you guys aren't going to receive investment, you guys aren't going anywhere with this technology, you guys basically need to start over. And at the time we were like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, we know what we're doing, like people are going to love this technology. And then we really sat down and thought, yeah, that technology does suck. And so we did scrap that, but good thing he was bold with us, good thing he was our mentor and he was straightforward and knew what we needed to hear. And so that was actually a big help in pivoting. And so I would say, we're all young. We haven't, well, I don't think most of us have really been out there creating companies and selling for millions of dollars, but they have, and they know exactly what's going on in the world. They have great advice, and so if we're going to start something while we're young, we've got to have that backing behind us. How much time we have? Got it. Okay, the last pillar is just the idea. Okay, and like I said, what does the problem solve? If you notice human nature, we are more inclined to pay for something that solves an issue that we have than pay for pleasure. And so, is it a shark bite pain? What's your idea? Do you guys have ideas? Like, what pain does that actually solve? If you present your product to someone, are they going to just jump over it and say, hey, this is going to solve my issue that I've had for the last 10 years? What is that problem? The bigger the problem, the bigger the company you guys are going to be able to create, or the faster the traction you guys are going to be able to get. And so really focus on that problem. Customer validation pivoting. Don't fall in love with your idea. We fell in love with our Golf Social Network and a few other ideas, but we learned to kind of detach ourselves. Don't fall in love with it, because I can guarantee you at the end of the day, if you make it a success, it's going to be 90% different than what you started with. Ours is about 95 or 96% different than the original idea that we started with. That's exactly what they told us in the beginning of Boom Startup. They said, don't love your idea because we're going to grill you. And at the end of this program, you guys are probably going to be at least 75%, 80% different than your original idea. So don't fall in love with it. Be willing to listen to your customers. If your customers tell you your product sucks, it probably sucks, or it probably won't sell, is what I'm trying to say. And so that's one big thing that I believe that we all need to do, is just make sure that we validate, we pivot until we find that right model. And sometimes it takes a long time. In the Boom Startup program, we didn't figure it out until a week before demo day. So we literally had to produce a piece of technology and sell it, which we were able to get revenue, incremental, just little revenue in within a week before the actual presentation day, when everyone else had the whole summer and was working on their ideas. But the point is that you can't give up until you actually find that model that works. And then the third is sell from the beginning. I mean, no idea is a secret. I mean, a lot of people, and I was especially this way, I thought in the very beginning, I can't share this idea. Someone's going to take it and they're going to become the next billionaire. I can't do that. No, out there, start selling it. If it's air, sell air. Sell it now. Get the product out there. Get it into people's hands. See what they say. and do your customer validation that way. What we did is we started off with just a T-sheet. Now our system's a full management system, so we take care of sales, we take care of inventory management, everything that you can think of at a golf course. But in the beginning, it was just a T-sheet, and our thought was, oh, we can't give this out right now. I mean, no one's going to like this. But we said, hey, we got to get some revenues or whatever, so we started selling this T-sheet, and people liked it. People started buying it. And then they started saying, hey, we need this and this, and so we started building on top of that product. And so just from what I've learned, and I could be wrong, but from what I've learned, the most important thing that we can do is just start selling from the beginning after we've done our customer validation. Because if someone's not willing to give you $1 for your product, you probably don't have a company. That's the validation right there. If someone's willing to pay you for your product or your service, you have a company. And you only do that by starting selling, doing customer validation, and really solving that shark bite pain. That's ForeUp. I know it's been a long class, but that's the story of us and what we've done. And like I said, it's exciting times right now. We still don't pay ourselves a lot. We're still young. We still need to have a lot of stresses. And you would think that once you get to a certain stage, it becomes less stressful. But I think that's false because it just becomes more stressful as the day goes on. But it also gets more exciting. The most exciting thing for me when I wake up every day is that this was just an idea. It was air, and now it's real. Golf courses are using it. People are adapting to this technology that we've built. They're paying us money. We can see checks. We can see our bank account. It's growing. It's real. It's happening. So that's the most exciting part about it. Like I said, anyone here can do it. You guys are all smart, and it just takes that sacrifice. It takes that commitment. And like I said, any one of you guys can be here in the same spot with any type of company 12 to 16 months from now and be in that mode of the battle and really taking on the world. So exciting times. I appreciate your time, and I guess we'll just head off to questions from here.